Am I the a-hole for ending my sister's pregnancy and possibly her marriage?
Yeah, yes. I don't know. What?
One might think, but don't judge a title by its cover. We gotta dig into the deets here.
We got a sleuth.
We got a sleuth.
We got a sleuth more than
Adam Levine trying to find a way to recover his career.
There we go.
I, male 32, have 2 older brothers, male 38 and male 40, and a sister, female 34. Note the age differences. So him and his sister are younger. The 2 brothers are, quite a few years older.
Yeah, cool.
Our family was relatively modest when my brothers grew up. So they were cared for a lot by my parents' families who were very conservative. By the time that me and my sister were born, our dad's career was going great and we were well off. Me and my sister have master's degrees while our brothers didn't go to college despite the funds and chances, which is
like subtle drag.
Yeah, subtle drag, like a not so subtle drag there on the brothers. A little elitist, if you ask me.
Brothers are a bunch of thurbs.
Bunch of bozos.
Yeah.
My mom had been trying to set up my sister with a churchgoer's kid, like to get married and whatnot.
Uh-huh.
This did not progress until around the time that my dad died and my sister came back and helped with the funeral. My brother's families are both in our hometown as well. I worked in tech in China at that time, and I now live in SF. And since the funeral, I've been mostly low contact with everyone in my family except my sister. Honestly, I was very close with my dad, and there was obvious favoritism towards me, which the others did not like. Which I
feel like OP is just talking themselves up, right?
Yeah,
we are
my dad
better
loved
than the
me.
brothers. We're more educated. The dad liked us more. Like
making money in China and SF. I have a master's degree.
Like that's just a total bruh moment. But you know what's better than saying bruh? Buying bruh. Buy our merch.
That's right. So at this point, my mom and oldest brother now technically live in the family house. My sister somehow ended up leaving her career and moving back to the hometown. She then married the man that my mom set her up with in 2019, the churchgoer's kid. I honestly was in shock at the wedding. I really didn't ever see my sister living on a farm and becoming a stay-at-home mom. I knew for a fact my mom and brothers were a huge part in this because there was a lot of she's back home posts on their social media. And later, I also found out that my sister had pretty much given all of her savings to the husband.
Really?
So here's this master's degree, woman, crushing it. And then she becomes a farmer's wife and gives the husband all of her money.
Girl, keep your money.
Keep
your money. Get that prenup.
Now, later in 2020, my sister straight out of the blue called me about just chatting. And of course, I loved this. Early in 2021, my mom told me that my sister was pregnant. I immediately asked my sister about this, and she pretty much broke down. In short, the husband has been very abusive.
Oh,
she's broke, and my family and her in-laws haven't helped.
Wow.
Can you imagine?
Oh my God.
Terrible situation. And her family pressured her into it, and now they're not helping her.
Jeez, they pressured her into the marriage.
Yeah, who's your kid? The farmer or your freaking kid?
Yeah, jeez.
My oldest brother yelled at her about how his wife went through the same thing and my sister should stop thinking she's special. Toxic.
Wait, his wife went through the same thing as being abused?
Being abused.
Did you just admit to abusing your wife?
Dude,
what are you doing?
Seriously,
bro, go back to school, get a education, and not being an a-hole.
The first time she called me, he had kicked her out of the home for complaining about their finances and that this was fairly common. This is where I might be the a-hole. I basically yelled at her too. I told her that she had a career which she can go back to and I can help her move back to NYC where she worked and studied before.
That's nice of the brother.
But the thing is, he's yelling at her. He's like, you have a career. Why don't you go back to New York? What are you doing? Why are you staying here?
Yeah, I guess it could have been handled better, but the sentiment is nice. I'm going to help you build your life back together.
Yeah. The sentiment was nice. And he finished off by saying that the pregnancy wasn't the end of it and that there are other options. The next day, she asked me for $5,000, which I sent to her without asking anything. I didn't hear much after that and didn't intrude because it was just a total mind F to me. A month later, my sister told me that she had gotten a new job in NYC and filed for divorce.
Wow, okay.
Thank God.
So, there we go.
She's moving back in a good direction. And also, the pregnancy is no longer on the table. Now, my family has been blowing up on social media, calling me in all sorts of BS. I've in general clapped back at them, and it looks like the home might be on the market soon. My sister needed to switch apartments and got a restraining order against her ex as well.
Ooh.
Things are not so great right now.
Zam.
But I'm happy that my sister is better. So the question is, am I the a-hole?
I mean, you could have maybe been a little bit nicer, but I'd say overall you're trying to help your sister. So I'd say not the a-hole. And
I would actually disagree a little bit. I think that the fact, like, dude, she's been beaten, but this guy beat her, stole all her money. You know, she has a baby with the guy, which she doesn't want, you know, anything to do with. Yeah. And now another person is yelling at her. Like, I could just see, even though it's like the right message, like.
Yeah, like the tough love is maybe not what this person needs right now. Honesty without empathy is cruelty.
Yeah.
And I feel like the brother might be being a little cruel.
Yeah. But at least like the advice he gave her is what she followed, which seems to like, she'll get her own money back.
Yeah,
she'll,
improve the life.
Hopefully rebuild her life.
Jeez.